turn around!
Ask me if I give a shit.
22-minute podcast. 22-minute podcast. Don't wanna take up much of your time. Just gonna read some headlines.
Check. We're good.
Maybe 6 feet ain't so
Welcome to the 22-minute podcast. My name is Wes Sievertson. Today is Monday. Another one day. May 26th, and I'm here with Mike Finley and James Fass.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, like I said, it's another one day, so we're going to do another around the weekend. What'd you do?
Well, today we're recording on the 24th.
Right.
Tomorrow's the 25th. Buttface turns 8.
Whoa.
So we're going to have a fun birthday weekend. And it's also, actually, so it's a Memorial Day today. So
Today?
Yes.
Oh, Monday.
Monday. Right, yeah. Another one day today.
Time travel.
But yeah, so we're going to have a fun 3-day weekend.
You literally said we're recording.
Yeah,
Was
I
awesome.
know, I know.
That was fun. I do hope somebody who's listening was just like, wait, where am I?
What is happening?
You know what? Just for that, I may. No, that sounds fun. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
I've got an audio clip that I think you'll enjoy. I'll put it at the beginning of this, just based on that kind of.
Oh, good. I can't wait.
What's today confusion. But yeah. So happy birthday, Scout.
Yeah, Buttface is 8. Woo! Yes.
Obviously, she's probably hearing this a day after her birthday. If you show her this, just cut it out.
Yeah,
know?
if she listens.
Man, I almost really just wanted to say like the C word. You know what I mean? But just in case she's listening, I'll hold off.
You can't do that, okay? You can't say that word.
Okay, good to know. I appreciate you giving me that directive.
You're welcome.
Hey, did you hear that I went to the doctor? I have an ear infection, but tits okay.
Tits okay.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Well, no, I think that we're gonna do stuff. I really don't know what is all entailed in those things, but yeah.
Amoxicillin is the medicine they gave me for my ear infection. Yeah. So what do you think you might do?
Well, so Lilo and Stitch came out this weekend, so we'll probably go see that.
She's all caught up in that. Or let me ask you, because you have a certain movie pass, right? Until they actually sponsor us and refund you, a year of your.
That'd be great.
We're not going to say their name, but so knowing that movies are an option, do you kind of encourage as many movies?
I do.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, there's no reason not. Just like, hey, let's go to the movies. Let's go see.
Yeah,
so we end up seeing a lot of stuff, which is fun. I mean, there's obviously a lot of things that she can't see, but we do kind of definitely explore.
My father took me to Brandon Lee's The Crow when I was 4 years old.
Didn't you say your mom was pissed?
She was upset. Yeah, she was upset. But it's not like I didn't go home and watch Terminator 2
right.
on VHS.
Right.
So I don't know if I had a kid, if I would be any different.
Sure. We do watch a lot of stuff, and then we do end up talking about a lot of
Sure.
So, but I mean,
hey, that's good. They didn't talk to me about it at all.
Well,
so
we definitely have convos. Actually, it's funny. This week we started playing. She wanted to play something called like the alphabet game, where first we're going to start going A to Z. We're just going to go words that start with these letters.
Okay.
And then we're going to go into sentences, where like the first word has to start with I'm A, and then she goes to B.
catches dogs or something.
Oh. No, but I mean, that would be intense.
That's the third round.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
But
I see what you're saying.
But it's been a fun like improv game, so that's like been playing in my brain. Like, dude, I can't wait to just see what unravels in your brain in the years to come.
For sure, man. I mean, dude, listen, if I you expressed perhaps some frustrations with her not practicing drums enough. And I don't think that's necessarily an age. It's too concerning as long as you don't appear complacent to her, right? You're a figure of non-complacency. But what about also? I mean, I guess this is also money, so I'm not trying to get in your wallet. But I mean, get her into some sort of theater.
She's doing another musical camp this summer.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. But I do think,
and I forget how much like a camp or something is like big in a kid's head.
Anyway, well, she did one last year. They did what was it? Alice in Wonderland. And she had a fucking hell of a time.
Good.
So they're doing another one this summer night. I think ideally, like that is something that Megan and I both talked about, is getting her into like an after-school sort of
Yeah.
thing. But
So
I think that
something-
door opens up a little older as she gets a little older.
I don't know. Ask Leo. No.
Excuse me, Mr. DiCaprio.
Like I'm pretty sure at Scout's age he was playing a drug addict.
Yeah.
So a little behind the times. She shouldn't be playing a drug addict.
No, she
Mike.
shouldn't. I don't need her to get into character for that.
Yeah, nope. Did you hear that Seth Rogen? Speaking of, we don't do headlines. Did you hear Seth Rogen wants Daniel Day-Lewis to play himself? And
Is that what?
what I was joking about?
Yeah.
Well, forgive me for practice using the text thread for practice, but
no, it's good.
yeah, I just would he implode?
Oh, that'd be
if
fun
he,
to
if,
see.
if he tried to play himself. How do you method that?
Yeah.
Just 3 months of staring at a blank wall, trying to figure it out.
God
right?
damn it, Daniel!
Yeah, just hearing his own echoes,
No.
and then his mind just breaks. I don't know.
That would be really neat.
Anyway, well,
That's all for my weekend.
James,
Just like every hour and a half, he's just trying to do Rogan's laugh again, but he only does it once.
yes, somehow, right? His brain
And then,
breaks,
like,
and
an
somehow
hour
he
goes
thinks
by.
he's supposed to play Seth Rogen. Like after 3 months of staring at that wall,
Yeah.
you just hear Daniel Day-Lewis in a room. You're like,
He's getting high.
can you imagine how terrifying that would be?
That would be absolutely
set
terrifying.
a horror movie in a very, very, very meta horror movie, on a Hollywood studio, and they're filming a horror movie, and it becomes an actual horror movie where it's rabid Daniel Day-Lewis loose on a set.
Rabid.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, he puts himself in one of those medieval spike suits, iron bars.
Well,
and
that's the fun thing about being in a Hollywood studio is you could stumble into a prop room, you could stumble into a costume room, you can do whatever you fucking want.
and no one's gonna be like, Mr. Lewis, you can't be in here.
That's a very funny aspect, right? He's covered in blood, right?
Right.
But people are just must be a new role. I don't know.
Oh, it's a sequel to There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, exactly.
There is blood.
Well,
Oh, I'm a
yes,
huge
it looked
fan.
real, but it's Daniel Day-Lewis, So it's probably
So who cares if he murdered someone?
he might have. I thought okay, no,
He murdered gangs in New York.
Well, listen, if he did murder someone, then he probably got permission.
That's true.
I thought it was
It was
pig's,
their fault.
pig's blood. But if you're saying you think it's a person's blood,
Consensual murder.
yeah, if we have to go to that extreme, remember that Italian guy who was like, "Hey, can I eat somebody?" And it was probably one of those. He found somebody on the internet, and they were like, "Cool, Daniel Day-Lewis needs me for his meth."
Cut off my penis. You can have it.
What about you, James? Weekend chick.
I went to Neon Nights karaoke presented by my buddy Stoney. That was fun.
Nice.
Sweet.
Next weekend we actually have a friend's wedding, so that'll be cool. But I will be working on Memorial Day,
Gotcha. Yeah,
making that money, that
Making that
shmoney,
moon.
that double time shmoney.
I had that option, and I turned it down.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I want it.
Take
I
a
want
bonus
the
day.
money.
No, I get it.
I want to buy something.
Yeah, groceries. Those are important. Making money for groceries. You know what? I've heard about this welfare thing. I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, didn't that just get cut by $600 million?
Yeah, it probably did.
Or
to,
billion?
To be
I
honest
don't know.
with you,
Medicaid. All that.
that's how we save that money, guys. We get
You gotta
less.
make the cuts in the right spots.
If we cut all of the shit that desperate people need and then they die, right? There's less of them to complain about it, and then we don't even need the money that we.
I think
cut.
they're onto something here.
Yeah. So
What are they gonna do when everyone's homeless?
I think that's what I seriously think I look at China. You know what I mean? They just want to turn us into a giant factory like China. The ruling class can already has the mobility to leave the country and literally go spend the rest of their lives in a safe place and still own the land that they do in America, and still own the businesses that they do in America. And then they'll go die in Sweden or something.
That sounds nice.
Yeah,
Sounds peaceful.
it's an option they openly have. And it's probably a lot of collusion. I mean, they already rent each other's private jets. Like
Mm.
a lot
They got a timeshare on the jets.
pretty much. I mean, yeah, like
Hopped off the PJ.
Jerry Jones, I know, rents out his giant yacht, to other billionaires and millionaires. Who
No, this is Jerry
that guy,
Jones's
dude.
yacht.
That's what I'm saying. They
God, I hate that motherfucker.
they seriously just live in like a completely different language of humanity.
Yeah.
It's hard to really articulate whenever, especially after generations and generations of having like hard work, bootstraps. Fuck your neighbor. Don't your neighbor? You don't help your neighbor, and your neighbor's not going to help you. After years and years of that, like they've got us so wired to just think that somehow that's how Jerry Jones is a billionaire. You know what I mean? No. They're colluding, bruh.
What about your weekend? What else you got going on, baby?
What? Sorry, where am I? Nothing. Nothing at all. What am I? Am I forgetting something?
No.
I don't think so.
Probably. You're of that age.
I think it's just more of that. I'm 17 years deep into just being drenched in THC. So,
Bro, you need to chew some neuro gum. Chew some fucking neuro gum.
I've never
bro,
chewed a
and
piece
take
of gum in my
Alpha-Brain
life, and you can go fuck yourself.
and start out with 32
love that
units and 10
fact.
exit.
Have you also never had a bowl of cereal?
I've had a bowl of cereal.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had a bowl of cereal. I just did
What
not
kind?
enjoy. I enjoyed as a kid like chomping on some cereal sometimes, but not enough to like ask my mom to buy it or something.
Gotcha.
And then the handful
Weird.
of times I did have it in a bowl with milk, soggy is not my style.
Yeah, no.
no.
Plus, we got to eat it
Okay.
fast.
Yeah, I guess, but that's too messy for
Yeah, I
young
get it.
me.
No, I get it.
I was a fan of Life Cinnamon. I thought.
Oh, I
it
did
was
like
a
the
very
cinnamon.
Simple cereal.
Yeah.
Drinking that milk afterwards too is
Oh, God, dude.
delicious.
Cinnamon
See,
milk.
Yeah,
I used to before I had a beard and shit. I'm
yeah,
si-
no, yeah. I get
I
it.
used to be like my mouth was clean. It was weird. It might have been, dude. One day I'll go to a psychologist and they'll be like, "Sounds like you had PTSD for a decade, and then you chilled." I mean, maybe that's not true. I don't know. I'm self-diagnosing. I'm just saying.
White.
White.
Who's on WebMD?
White.
What a white thing to do.
We got the joke. You don't gotta explain it.
You're white.
Oh, I guess people don't know that. They would have been racist to assume just based off the tone of my voice.
Yeah, no one could tell.
It's funny. I saw a podcast. This is off topic, but also kind of on topic. I saw a podcast whose theme song was done by a fan, and it's kind of like she sings in kind of like it's a woman, and she sings in kind of like a modern pop kind of affectation or whatever. And someone mentioned that, someone like admonished that, right? Which like, yeah, whatever. But they quoted FJM, Father John Misty.
In the song?
Yeah, they were like, I hate that soulful affectation that white girls put on, right?
Oh, that's plagiarism.
Jeez.
Well, they put it in quotes. But what I found really funny was she then responded, "Oh, you're just assuming my race?" And I was like, in my mind, I was like, did this white girl just play the race card? I was like, how did she do that?
War on us, right?
It was pretty fun. I had to commend her for that. I mean, silently,
funny.
But yeah,
I had to write it down and put it into the legislation.
I was looking for a moment to bring it up, so I'm glad it like anywhere and on the podcast or just with anybody, because I thought it was like a white girl
funny.
played the damn. That's some 3D chess. She should work for the administration. So,
Nice.
no, I don't have any weekend bullshit or nothing.
Okay.
And I didn't even pull up the doc, man. I'm not even on top of nothing.
I got it right here, baby.
All right, cool. How long we've been doing this? Okay, so we got 7 minutes left.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time to
I'm
rip on through.
We're just gonna jump straight to ba-dum-bum-ba-down on this day in music history. Again, it is May 26th.
Another one day.
It's a Monday. On this day in 1967, the Beatles' 8th studio album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, is released and has the song, with a little help from my friends, probably made more famous, I think, by Joe Crocker and his version opening the Wonder Years. Why would you do if I drank? Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was also on Sgt. Pepper's. And When I'm 64. Ooh, God, you got to watch Walk Hard, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, because
It's on the list.
are your songs still going to suck when I'm 64? That's Jack Black. Yeah, no, it's a great. It's honestly, it's been on plenty of internet lists as being an incredibly underrated movie. So that's probably why you haven't seen it, is because the zeitgeist didn't aggressively enough tell you need to watch it.
Fair enough.
Sometimes that happens.
Wrong
Yeah,
kid
it's true.
died.
Yeah, the wrong kid. God,
Wrong kid died.
let's just get Joe on the phone and ask him about it. You know, 'Cause
Everything I ever heard about the movie was from
Exactly.
Joe. So
There you go. All right. On this day, 1978, David Gilmour's debut self-titled solo record drops, containing the single "There's No Way Out of Here." I guess I've maybe heard.
I listened to it this morning after throwing it on the list. I had never heard it before, but it's definitely, it sounds like David Gilmour and it's like post Pink Floyd-y song for sure.
Oh, there's no way out of it. When you come out, you can't. You can't move on. I think maybe Iron and Wine covered it. This is my
okay.
guess. I'll look
Okay.
it up later to see if it's the same song. Until then, bye. On this day in 1986, Europe's, that's a band, the Final Countdown. That's not only the name of the record, but it's the name of the song. Titular track, as Mike likes to remind me.
Titular.
Well, you know, you can put a little U in there.
I don't want to make it all
Titular.
about me, okay?
No, I said it.
Yeah.
I said I have an ear. Anyway, all right. On this day in 1987, The Cure's 7th record, because they released their first record in 1979. Isn't that weird?
That is wild.
Yes.
This is the drum fill record.
The drum fill record?
Yeah.
Is this a meme I'm unaware of?
Well, just like it had like Just Like Heaven on it, right? So it's like,
You know what? I'll never
it's like
forget.
every song.
I know what you mean. The 80s love doing that shit. I'll never forget, like, working at Vans, like, folding some shirts or whatever, probably too thin a material to comfortably fold, especially if you're an XL lady. Like, that shirt's just so large. And then, when you're trying to fold it, it's like, it's so soft and it's so big, you know? It's weird. It's like,
Right.
if you need to feel better, don't get the shirt. Like, maybe, like, on a diet. But, I'll never forget standing there folding these shirts and hearing "Cold November Rain" by Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yeah.
And it literally is like, I don't know if it's every 2 or 4 measures, but it's just dum boom ba da boom boom, and you're and a cold November rain, dum dum ba da boom boom. When you need some time, boom boom, and you just.
I feel like the producer was just like, keep doing it, keep doing that one.
You know, if you only do that the whole song, we just have to record it once. And then I'll just repeat it, and you can go
Do you
home.
remember those 6 heads you hit?
Yeah.
Do it again.
Anyway, yeah. So you're probably right. I'm not super familiar with the Cure. They never really grabbed me, other than
Some of them singies.
I really
Yeah.
like The Cure. There was no hate on that.
no hate, no hate. I admittedly was surprised that I got into the Smiths. You know, and then I didn't really get into the Cure. It just, who knows how it happened? I don't know. Because
I
Morrison's
got
a
into
dick.
the Smiths and then I got out of the Smiths.
I mean, honestly, it's pretty. I could see how it blew people away in the '80s, but it's. I don't know. I think Johnny Marr's Johnny Marr, right? Or is that the Cure guy?
No, Johnny Marr is
No,
the
Johnny
guitarist
Marr's-
from the
Johnny
Smiths.
Marr's like overrated as a guitarist. It's just it was just different music than what everyone else is doing
at the time.
I don't know. It's weird shit. But I for some
It
reason
is
liked
weird.
it.
Okay.
You know. All right. On this day in the year 2002, Eminem's 4th studio record, The Eminem Show. So important. Again, I think Eminem released a record last week. But remember that Mike and his brother, they really bonded over
This one in particular.
this record, as
Mhm.
I was just informed. Tell us about it.
Well, it's my first rap record. My mom took me to Sam Goody. We were about to go on a trip with my
Not
grandparents.
even Walmart censored, huh?
Yeah. No,
Whoa.
but we got the edited version
Oh,
at
okay.
Sam Goody.
Okay, all right.
And yeah, no, I mean, we listened to this CD back and forth, and I fucking will always have a special place in my heart.
You know what's
Great
crazy?
record.
Great.
Great
I haven't heard it, but I'm going to
record.
agree with you. Great record. No one picked up, like, the censored version of Van Halen. You know what I mean?
Well, do they have
That's
edited
what I'm.
version?
That's
Oh,
my
okay.
point.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just, what a little more pure of, like, a true adolescent experience, because you did have to. I think Freaks and Geeks had a good. Was it Freaks and Geeks? What there was some show that had a great sequence of like, take this record home, you just put it in the other sleeve. You don't put it. You take it out of the Metallica sleeve and you put it in the Hall and Oates. Those timelines.
I think you're right though. It is Freaks and Geeks were that way, so no, they wouldn't know that. I have this.
Yeah.
I
want that.
Yeah.
And now your kid's got to like clear her browser history. No, I'm just That's all right. All right, let's get through these birthdays. I'm sorry, we might have to. We're gonna have to skip TV and film today.
No, that's fine.
Unless you get one. No, I'm just playing. You get
Shanghai
as many as you
Noon.
want.
Shanghai Noon in 2000.
Noon in the
Out
year
of the list.
2000.
Yeah,
I do love.
that
love
one is
Shanghai
fucking.
Noon, dude.
I
Shout
remember
out.
renting it on DVD. It was fucking. When my parents first got a DVD player, I was like, "This is awesome."
It is
Jackie
a
Chan,
fun-
Lucy Liu,
I love Jackie Chan so much.
Owen Wilson.
And then there's Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
So good. All right. Well, let's get through these birthdays. Let's see what we had here. By the way, turning 76 is Hank Williams Jr. Not quite. He's not dead.
I'm surprised.
Are you ready for some football?
Woo!
He's
Country
gotta
boy
be
can't
dead, bro.
survive. He's not. He's still alive.
Well, I'll have to ask turning 55 Alex Garland whenever he does his bio.
Oh yeah.
But
love
yes,
Alex Garland.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like, I don't know, like he did some cool stuff, and now I'm kind of like
he did
whatever.
Ex Machina,
That's what I'm saying.
Annihilation.
Right.
And
then, now it's like, it's all right. The stuff he's doing now.
the one he did last year was I liked.
Annihilation was scary.
It was scary.
What did he do?
What was it? Fucking I can't remember, but it's got
Civil War.
Kirsten Dunst. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. I just like the homage to like journalism. Like that was, I think Wes Anderson did the same thing with the French Dispatch.
I have a severe need to call you gay right now.
That's fine.
I'm just
I'll
playing.
take it.
No,
I'll take it.
I was interested to hear that was like kind of the narrative that they went with, because I was like, how are they doing the Civil War movie?
Yeah.
So I can see how it's a good choice to do that. Racist, turning 59, not racist. Helena Bonham Carter. We have time for one more birthday.
The beautiful
Lauryn
76, Pam Grier, and 50, Lauryn Hill for sure.
Oh, we got two in there. Bye.